Why?
Why?
Tell me why. Why?
Goz, why? It's time for Wednesday Why. Goz has scoured the questions that we all have faced when trying to evaluate the universe, and he will present them to us, and we must make sense of them. We cannot say why not, and we cannot say because, unless we elaborate with a good reason.
That's good enough. Justin
That was pretty big, man. Come on. That was over the top.
It was very good. Houston Astros pitcher Justin Verlander is really, really good against the New York Yankees in this lineup. Why?
Behind every great man, Goz, is a great supermodel named Kate Upton. I think, look, it is science. It is science that when an older bull or an older alpha male is surrounded by either younger ones or beautiful females of their species, they become more virile again. They need to rise up and make sure that they're the one who gets that woman, that female. And I believe, knowing that he's performing before he goes home to Kate Upton, has brought back the greatness of one Justin Verlander.
It's a pretty good answer. I was going to say that he's a really good pitcher, probably the top 5 pitcher of the last 10 to 15 years in Major League Baseball. I'll go 15. That's how good Verlander's been, especially for the Yankees. He just does it the right way. He gets a lot of strikeouts. He knows guys like Stanton and Justin strike out a lot.
That's the wrong way to win a game.
Right. But there's ground ball pitchers. There's guys who try to overthrow at hitters.
That's not wrong.
Verlander's figured out a good formula to go against these Yankee lineups.
Mary Kate Upton.
But you know what's going to happen at one point here? Everyone's played fantasy sports, and if you haven't, sorry for this comparison, but there's always that week in fantasy sports, especially fantasy football, where you have a ton of players on a bye week. It just happens once in a while. You get like 5 guys on a bye week. Then you start going through your lineup like, well, this guy had 1 catch for 40 yards earlier in the season. Maybe he'll get me points. That's how the Yankees are going to be at one point against Verlander. Well, this guy hit 200 lifetime against Verlander. Maybe he's a good enough hitter to go up against him. That's how bad the Yankees have been against Justin Verlander.
You saw how to beat Verlander.
What is that?
10 pitches, get dude out of the game.
He didn't give up a run and struck out 14 guys.
Right, get him out the game. Let him strike out whoever, as long as it's 6-7 pitches.
Yoenis Cespedes sprained his hand, but then he told everybody he was going to be out 3 games, but then he was back last night in the lineup for the Mets. Dr. Cespedes' diagnosis was wrong. Why?
This is a classic example of promise low, deliver high. You know what I mean? Oh, God, I don't think I can do this. This is terrible. And then, Super Cespedes goes 3 for 4 with a home run.
Rides in on the white horse.
Yeah, literally.
I guess Cespedes
is a white horse.
Isn't that the old expression? Yeah. Is Cespedes' craziness underrated sometimes? I know he's in New York and the golf thing was it, but I always felt like he was Yasiel Puig. Like Yasiel Puig's nuts in the outfield. Cespedes is the same. He's crazy. People forget about the craziness of Yoenis Cespedes. The Mets are winning. Mets fans have embraced it. Cespedes is out there playing. He's doing a good job. He's not a doctor. He probably told me he was going to be out. Whatever. Do what you want, Cespedes. When you win, it's one of the great luxuries of sports. People let you do what you want.
He just needed to play golf and fix his hand right up.
The next one here, Fred VanVleet, the guard for the Toronto Raptors, was taking game-winning shot attempts last night against the Cavaliers. Why?
I think he's, everybody, I mean, we say this all the time. Fred VanVleet's one of the most underrated players in the NBA. No, we never said that? That's never happened?
This may be the first time in the history of the show Fred VanVleet's been brought up, ever. We were on before he was good at Wichita State. But no.
I thought that was my accountant's name. I didn't know he played basketball.
You got DeMar DeRozan. You got Kyle Lowry. And I know what they're going to say. Oh, he was open. It was a 3-ball. It was the right... Guys, you're all-stars. You're playing against LeBron James. You got the game at home. Do not pass to Fred VanVleet and Jonas Valanciunas for game. Stop it.
Well, you know how they say it, though. It always finds... The ball finds the guy who's not ready. And it just found VanVleet.
But draw something up for somebody else.
If it was regular season, it would have been DeMar DeRozan. But because it's the playoffs and it's the Raptors, Fred VanVleet, my accountant, takes the shot.
I wonder if some athletes...
Sorry, Dave. Dave's my accountant.
Like the NBA especially, there's a lot of it to do with ego. And that's what makes some of these guys so good. They want to outscore somebody else. They believe they can shut somebody down one-on-one. They believe a legacy's on the line when they sign for certain teams. I would think DeRozan and Lowry would want those shots. They're not getting the heat that a LeBron James or a Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis. Let's go through the list of superstars. If they were to pass up those shots in those types of games at home, they would be buried by the national media today. Lowry and DeRozan don't take the shots and don't make a shot of 18 attempts. The team went 16 to 18, and they're not getting the criticism. All right, whatever. They call them chosers.
We just gotten used to the Raptors losing the playoffs.
I guess so. Let's move on to the team that did win last night, the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors can beat some of the best teams in the Western Conference, even when Steph Curry's not at 100%. Why can they do that?
Because they're the best built team in all of the NBA. They've got 2 of the 3 best players in the league. They've got probably 2 more of the top 10. You know, with the way Draymond Green can play defense and the way Klay Thompson can hit the deep shots. I mean, they're just the best. Like, I don't know why people keep forgetting that.
There are times where people will forget that Kevin Durant's on the court because Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and Steph Curry are so good. There are, I'm sure, some sports fans who forgot Steph Curry wasn't playing for the Warriors since March because the Warriors didn't lose a beat. We have to. If they go out and beat up on Houston in the Western Conference Finals, which I think it's going to be, I'm not going out on a limb there, and they go win another NBA Finals after going 15-1 in the playoffs last season, regular season championship, and I should say the most wins in a season ever, we got to start talking about this Golden State Warrior roster as one of the great professional sports rosters ever.
We haven't already? Are we already doing that?
I think there's some people who still think the 98 Bulls are better and they just leave it at the NBA.
Well, it just depends what
baseball, football, basketball. That's how good these guys are.
That game, I'm convinced, that series, those Bulls versus this Warriors, if you play it then, the Bulls beat them because they can beat you up. You play it now, the Warriors will spend so much time on the free throw line, they'll win. So it's realistically like you just got to find what era are you going to play in that decides who wins.
I got 2 more for you here. The first one involved the Raptors-Cavalier game, but it was Drake beefing and talking smack to Kendrick Perkins. Why?
Man, this is great. I mean, when your mom's favorite rapper calls somebody, well, he said bad words, we'll just put it there, and wants to fight a guy who's like 7 feet tall, almost 300 pounds, that's just fun. That's just WWE quality fun right there, my friends. Drake's got to remember, he's a rapper. And if you want to stretch it, he's an athletic rapper. He's not an athlete. He should not be messing with the athletes.
Whoa. He was an athlete at Degrassi High School before he was shot in that classic episode.
Guys, you know that Degrassi High was just a ripoff of Saved by the Bell.
What?
Yeah. It was a Canadian equivalent. It's a TV show.
Whoa.
It's a TV show. Did you notice his name wasn't Drake in Degrassi High?
I thought his middle name was... Oh, no. I thought it was a documentary.
My entire childhood is a lie!
Last one here, and this one might be the toughest Wednesday why question of all time. Kanye West. Why?
For our sins. I mean, we've all done some really bad things in our lives, and we're being punished by the higher power you believe in by the existence of Kanye West.
He's out of his mind. Kanye
really?
West,
you just figured that out now?
No, like 2 years ago, he was having the nervous breakdown. He was losing his... He is just on fire on Twitter. He's saying stuff that...
He's supporting Trump. He's...
Wait, again, politically, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
I don't even...
Well, no, it's just funny because I never heard Make America Great Again, the MAGA hat. Like, I never heard it called the MAGA hat before. He started calling it that. And
then he's getting in fights with people at TMZ and other sites. Charlamagne the God, who's on our sister station, Hot 99.1.
Well, first of all, when your name is The God, come on.
He also said that African Americans had slavery as a choice, was what he was telling people.
Oh.
That's been making headlines today.
It was a choice, just not theirs.
Yeah.
I think that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's because they weren't allowed to have choice, which would be the definition of slavery, mister.
Kanye West, he's one of the most prolific Grammy Award-winning artists ever in the history of music. Look it up. I think he's top 2 or top 3 for most Grammy wins ever. He's sold some of the most popular hip-hop albums of all time. But he is saying stuff that is turning off such a group of his fans that I don't know if I can compare it to something in my lifetime. Oh, people just running away from one artist as quickly as possible without committing a crime. You commit a crime, some people will run away. He didn't commit a crime. He's just crazy.
Yeah, he's bad, man. Remember when he was like begging for money on Twitter and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there. I've never liked him, so it's nothing new to me. Like, this isn't shocking.
I just don't get why he is the way he is, and I'll never figure it out.
He's also Kardashian curse.
There, you beat me to it, the Kardashians. Maybe the Kardashians have just beat him up too much. Mentally, I should say.
No guy gets out of there.
No.
Ever.
Tristan Thompson.
Bruce Jenner. Sorry. What? What do we got coming up? What do you want to do?
How about David Stuyvesant? He's one of the NFL draft insiders for our Lands Scouting Service. He broke down the Giants and the Jets. NFL Jeff, you watched the film. He did the whole thing. Let's get some of his evaluations about some of those top picks for both those New York teams.
Next.